Brown 45. Brown 45. Hot, 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 hot.
7 hours of red zone football, and I'll see you there for it.
Oh, wait, what happened to commercial free?
That's a whole long story.
And we are back. We are live. Wild Card Weekend delivered in fold. It's probably one of the best weeks of playoff football that I can remember, except the Monday night game, which we will discuss. At length. Yeah, it was an overall fantastic weekend of football. Every game, at one point, it was like the team trailing at the last 2 minutes, like came back to win it or score. And it sets up interesting matchups this week. A lot of weird calls, some firing, stepping down, I should say, some hiring for a lot of money. We can discuss all of that tonight. And again, it doesn't go against the salary cap, so I guess you can pay them whatever the fuck you want, but my God. Yeah, first up, Robert, how are you overall? Probably pretty good for what you can do.
I was in a deep depression Tuesday, and then the depression cloud got lifted. Like, if anybody has seen Wake Up Dead Man, there's a scene where like light comes through a church window, and it's like the heavens have opened. That's kind of how I felt Tuesday afternoon. I'm just, living the dream. I'm trying to figure out, even after bad results on Monday night, how could it get even better? I don't know. We'll see when the hiring process is finished.
That is true. It's always one thing to get a new coach, but who it will be is the question mark. Only thing you can be thankful for, it won't be anybody on the current staff. So that's awesome for you. So Arthur Smith, you are saved. Please go to the Titans. Next up, I don't think anybody's got it better than Thomas Cully right now. So I don't know how many in your lifetime. Well, normally this is just how are you doing, but I don't know how many times in your lifetime that you remember like a massive win over the Packers. This has to be like 1A, and I was thinking back, like it has to be pretty high up there because unless you had another playoff game that led you farther, but this.
I get 1A and 1B in one season. I thought that the one from like 4 weeks ago was going to be 1A. Turns out that's 1B. This one was so much better. It's like when you get really, really drunk and then you wake up the next morning and you go get like a really greasy breakfast, like a Waffle House if you're from the South or from your favorite breakfast spot, and it just makes you feel good inside knowing that you survived. We survived, and it was arguably the biggest win that I think personally I have ever watched in my 26 years of watching the Chicago Bears play football. Usually the best I get is a defensive struggle and one late touchdown pass from whoever's at quarterback. Now I get 5 points in a quarter. This is unbelievable. I'm living in a different world right now.
Best way I can describe it, I don't know if it's accurate at all, but like how again, time will tell. So this could mean nothing. But this is like a win that is like a rivalry shifting win in my head. you can only lay on your back for so long. You can only get beat down so long. Like, I think of this as like classic '04 Yankees Red Sox. Like, it was the final. It was finally flipped. It's been like it was one way for so long. So much heartbreak in the other direction. The game had every opportunity to lead to that, and it turned out it wasn't. So only time will tell. I'll listen. We'll discuss it at length because there's a few things I want to take from that game, including Ben Johnson's post interview or post like press conference that people are up in arms at, and I think it's hilarious to me. But first, we'll start with it as Rams Panthers happen. I think everybody was like, listen, like, I'm glad it's the first game. Who gives a shit? Lived up to everything the game should have been. Like, 10 points was, again, it's a classic thing is like you're giving somebody too many points. Like, at the end of the day, you're giving 10 points in the NFL is a lot of points. It's just a lot of points. And sometimes you see it and you're like, yep, that made perfect sense. And it on paper, it made no sense. It made zero sense. Bryce Young looked horrible against the Buccaneers, looked absolutely horrible. He looked horrible leading up to that game in a couple weeks prior. Like, he hadn't been throwing the ball well. They haven't been like, you're thinking McMillan against that defense, that's it? Like, good luck. Like, they couldn't run the ball at all. Like, Rico Dowdle, like, non-existent. They turned to Hubbard. He got the ball moving a little bit, but they still couldn't like actually put drives. It's still fascinating that they were leading that game with 2 minutes left. There's that he's on TikTok, he's on every probably thing, but he's that guy that does all like the SEC, the firing coaching, like the goofy guy. He just is like that. He's like Stafford in the huddle. He's like, what are you gonna do? Nah, let's take their hearts. And like he just goes down and starts like dotting, and that's exactly what he did. Like, I'm telling you, it was like cat and mouse. Like, he was just playing with his food, getting the hope of that entire stadium, which was a really cool experience because we had 2 people in our community in that stadium, and like the live text back and forth of the like reaction to that stadium. Like, I could just imagine. You could almost hear it through the phone, like how it was coming through, because like I'd see it on the game and then they would lose their mind. It was a fumble or whatever it was in there, something. It was just like the whole menu switch. So it was a really cool experience. But again, the most surgical drive I've ever seen. Like that is why Matthew Stafford is the MVP this year. His weapons, even like drops and stuff. So he was putting them in places. There were still just his receivers were dropping it. The beginning of the game, I even texted, was 12 on the scouting report because there was 3 straight. It was I think 3 straight plays. He got the ball and they went right into the end zone. I was like, Puka should have been on the stat sheet. I don't know why you just didn't, and no one was around him. And then they just got back. What were your guys' overall thoughts from that game?
I mean, it was awesome. I think if you take out Bears Packers, that's the game of the weekend, at least in my opinion. Because the ebbs and flows of what the Panthers did all game was kind of fun to watch. It's kind of emblematic of how their whole season has gone, how the NFC South has gone. Because you have moments where they look like a legit contender, a legit football team. Bryce slinging the pill, the offensive line eating up that defensive line of the Rams at times. And then McMillan, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year, I think probably deservedly so, just looking like a superstar in the making. The Rams, just like you said, playing with their food way too much. You know, I think they still have issues in the secondary that are easily exploitable. That hopefully somebody else can exploit on Sunday. But I mean,
Only if it's the fourth quarter.
Stafford is just too cold. He's unbelievable, and the fact that we get to watch him do this after so many years of him not being in that position is still a treat to watch, no matter what.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if he was on like a decent enough team for the early parts, like how many playoff wins, how many championships,
or if the organization hadn't driven all of his greatest players away from him.
Well, I mean, I just assume that's kind of like Detroit Lions modus operandi. It's just kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, it was crazy. I think, like you mentioned, Cody, that Bryce hadn't really played well. I think the last time he had played well was against the Rams. Honestly, I think that was And people were picking that one apart because they were like, yeah, but he threw like 2 of his 3 touchdowns or whatever on 4th down. Like, how often does that happen? Like, he's not going to replicate that.
Quite a
I
bit,
said,
honestly, in a do or die game.
apparently so. I said I thought 10 points was ridiculous and it should have went the other way because I just couldn't see. I couldn't see how a team who had just lost this team could like take them so lightly that they would just be like, whatever. And they just went, whatever, till like 2 minutes were left. And then they were like, okay, it's big boy pants time now. And they're like, yeah, that's it. I was like, is it just not fun for you, Sean McVay, just to beat a team down? Is that it? You just want the challenge? Is that cool?
I think he wanted to leave some on the tape. Like, I don't think he wanted. I think he was expecting to get an easy move, and then have the next team be the one that he has to plan against really hard. But it's that similar situation as like it was a look ahead game, but they fell right back into the mousetrap twice. Like. And it was, what was the score? It was at halftime. Well, not even half, but it was getting out of hand early, and then it just started like, and then it just like another game that just had the wide open like score, and then just stop playing football.
Something I've noticed is coaches in that McVay Shanahan tree who come from that football brainchild that's amassed so much success and only like 1 or 2 Super Bowls apparently. They love, I think, like you guys alluded to, they love keeping just a little bit of meat on that bone. They don't want to roll out their entire playbook in the playoffs. They want to keep something close to their vest. They don't want to reveal all their secrets that early. And it comes back to bite them at some point. It's come back to bite Kyle Shanahan multiple times. In the Super Bowl one time, it's come back to bite McVay a couple times. So I think watching the Rams play, it sometimes feels like they're not playing to their potential, especially on offense. Like, they can be dialing up more. It just feels like they're holding back a little bit, and it's kind of frustrating to watch.
Yeah. I'm so confused. I was like, again, I thought like no way that they get beat the first time, that they don't just like, but it's every team that gets up, they get into this point of cruise control and they just like think that this is it. And so
they think they can just park the bus, run the ball, and that's going to be enough to wind down the clock and win the game. And then all of a sudden, I have timeouts I can use. Sure, I'll throw a timeout there. I'll throw a timeout there. And then when somebody gets injured and you have no timeouts left, oops, you lost 10 seconds.
It's like playing 4D chess on a 2D thing, and you're like, wait, I don't have the extra 2 dimensions? What kind of like caveman game is this?
It's outsmarting yourself.
Yeah. You need to, you know what puts games away? Scoring an extra touchdown. That's what really puts the game away. You need to get back in the end zone. I mean, it's kind of weird, but we're just going in order. The Packers come into Soldier Field. This is hold on. Back to Matthew Stafford telling Davante Adams, let's go take their heart, is one of the most savage things ever. And well done. I think that's great. I want more people to talk like this. Speaking of, Packers come into Soldier Field. Packers are literally belt to ass in the first. It was so strategic. I took a bet on the third drive of the Packers. It says, who will score the next touchdown? Well, they threw it to Watson. They threw it to Reed, or they gave it to Reed. And then I was like, Romeo Dobbs has got to score now. So I put in it's plus 1,500 odds. I put a bet on Romeo Dobbs to score the touchdown. Watson fumbles in the end zone. Watson, they try to throw to Dobbs. They try to throw to again. And then they finally get to him. I catch a bet. Lovely life. Overall, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Caleb Williams looks horrible in the first half. Absolute trash. He's frustrated. He can't breathe. There's all this stuff. They're down, 21-3?
21-3 at the half.
Yeah.
So down 18. And I hate myself more than anything right now because I saw plus 1,300 odds on the Bears money line. And I stared at it for literally 5 minutes. I was like, they come back from everything. This is like this. Let me put the bet on it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't pull myself to it. Your team's the most annoying team in the National Football League. It just really is.
Oh my gosh.
Because I can't deny that they're good at points, but they're also complete ass in the other points. I just don't get it. Like, sure, the Packers are
that should mean a fan.
right. And I don't even know how you like that pass that he's getting so much credit for. And I get it. It was insane. Because it's insane. Because it should not mathematically work.
Yeah.
This is Doctor Strange holding up the one finger. Because you run that simulation 10 times, he gets planted 75 of them. 20 other ones he gets intercepted because there are three Packers around the situation. And who caught it?
Roma Dunze.
Roma Dunze sees it and backs up enough where another Packers defender is, doesn't get it and catches it, and they end up winning this game. 18-point deficit, come all the way back, just slinging it all over the floor. Luther Burden, I've known was a massive star. I've watched enough of Mizzou games, betted enough on Mizzou games to know who Luther Burden was. I was pissed that the Bears got him because I don't want to see Scully happy in football. And I know that's a weird contradiction because he's my ride or die from all year long on Red Sox. And in football, I'm just like, let him be a little miserable all the time. It's kind of fun. Your team is absolute the worst in the first half. Their team is the absolute best at second half adjustments. Why the fuck is that the case?
A lot of first-year head coaches do this. They're great at scripting. They're not so great when their script gets figured out, but they're really, really good at adjustments. And this is the seventh game.
We know.
The seventh game this season where we've come back in the fourth quarter to win.
Is the most comeback wins in a single season in NFL history. That's stupidity.
Yeah, it's absolutely stupid. We're not playing to our potential at all. Caleb Williams is still not at nowhere near what he can be. But guess what? He's still one of the most dynamic players in football. He's one of the best throwers. He's one of the best throwers of the football in the National Football League. He is. The San Francisco tape alone, just those two touchdown passes he had is like there's very few people in the league who can successfully do that from fucking midfield. And the ability that he has. So watching this game, there were two moments that I knew we had in the bag. Havertz extra point when Golden scored that touchdown, and we were down 11. I'm like, you know what? I think we got this. I think this is going to be another one of those ones. And then the next defensive possession after Zacchaeus scores, it shows Caleb on the sideline in his offensive line's face, in his receiver's face, going on and on and on, talking about if the safety drops down, exploit the weakness, run all the way to the end zone. I knew we were going to win. I knew it. And it's weird because I don't ever think that because I'm so pessimistic when talking about my teams. I'm always very pessimistic. But what he and Ben Johnson have done in the last 9 months, they've completely changed how I watch football. Completely changed how I watch it. Because now I see that my team, if my cursed ass team can do anything, then anything can happen in this league.
Robert.
They were also they're down 11 with 6 minutes left, which is gross. I think
They're down 18, and then Alex Bregman signed with the Chicago Cubs, and they scored. So I just want that.
like
Yeah, you literally texted me Bregman to the Red Sox. I think
Well,
that was like
wrong.
right when Williams threw his
To the
second
Cubs.
interception. Like
Yeah.
when he got tackled almost near the end zone and he threw up that second pick. And that was the moment where I was like, you know what? Life's not worth living anymore. And then
And then Passan goes, well, maybe Bregman can find the end zone in Chicago.
that was
And I believe your text. You could continue, but Robert, go ahead. We'll read
punched
what
the
he said.
wall.
You're not, but knowing what I know now, there was an occasion before things happened where, the Bears made inquiries on Mike Tomlin's behalf, and my God, I wish we could go back in time and make that happen.
That was Bill
God's
fucking
sake.
Polian talking in George McCaskey's ear. The same guy who's like, oh, Matt Eberflus is actually a very good disciplined head coach.
I wish Bill Polian would have worm-tugged his way into actually making that work. Either way, it's just magical, I guess. I guess this is just a magical season for them. I don't think it'll be like fully magical, but I think I was sitting there in the whole third quarter. I was like, you guys, Packers, you just really don't want to take this, do you? You just really just want to this is another one of those. It was like, nah, we're just going to string it along. And we got a team that let, San Francisco put up 44 and what did the Bengals put up, like 48, 51? I don't remember.
42, but yeah. Or
42.
No,
47. And I was like, nah, we're cool with those 21 points we have. Why even score anymore? And as that kept going along, knowing what we knew, I was like, this is probably bad. This is really bad. This reminded me of 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and the Falcons couldn't deliver a death blow, and the Packers couldn't deliver a death blow, and they got because of it. And now, we got rumors of LaFleur extension bullshit and what's going to happen with Malik Willis and
not going to happen with him. You don't think they're going to reach an extension?
I don't think they're going to reach an extension because I legitimately think he's going to ask for too much, and they're just going to say, bye, see ya.
That would be the dumbest decision.
And then they're just going to probably promote Halfley in-house.
Okay, well, I guess.
As much
it
as
doesn't
admit that, I think that's what's going to happen.
I understand. I've been there is only one coaching change this offseason that no, there's more. But of the big ones, Harbaugh, Tomlin, Yves LaFleur goes, I think that is absolutely the dumbest decision possible. I just do. I think it's a 100%.
But because this is what complacent organizations do. Organizations who have been used to steady success, they maybe haven't seen a Super Bowl in a while. They're just used to the same old 9, 10, 11 win seasons that end in the playoffs due to maybe one play or just an overall team breakdown. That's what Robert. Watching your
dude, if I'm fucking Matt LaFleur, I'm calling fucking the Raiders tomorrow and saying, let me go. Let me go. You're going to give me let me draft my quarterback with a high enough position. You're going to give me Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, and I can bring in core people with enough cap space.
LaFleur has done with Jordan Love. If he gets his hands on Fernando Mendoza, the West is if the Raiders can get.
I think if he goes to the Falcons, and he can work with Penix, I think they can be insane. I think the Penix world is his oyster.
Has Oscar Pistorius legs now, so he's. I don't know about his.
Well, if the Steelers ever got a good enough draft pick and a quarterback, I would go there. But
Tyson's out there.
The joke, Cody, was what if they did any given Sunday, and what if LaFleur brings Malik Willis along with him? He's like, I'm going to Pittsburgh, and I'm taking Malik Willis with me. And people were like,
if Tomlin was still in Pittsburgh, I would put the house on Trinidad Chambliss being drafted in round 2 or something.
100%. Well, Ty Simpson's getting offers for $6.5 million to go to play from Miami.
Go back because your stock ain't gonna go up.
If Dante Moore is going to go back, anybody who's not Mendoza should go back.
Dante Moore had 2 bad games, saw the Jets, and go, give me that 6.5. Give me that 6.5 more.
I got embarrassed like that on national television, and my option was to. And I think this point is kind of bullshit anyway. But like after what happened in that Peach Bowl, I want to go back to school too. Rewrite the narrative.
When he threw that first pick in the sideline, he went right to the sideline. So I was like, "Look, coach, I'm coming back. Not going to be here any longer." You think I want to play You think I want to play on the Jets with that offensive line? I could. We could stop Indiana in a shot. I'll wear green, but not that green. Yeah, no way. Next game. I want every coach and every player and everything in rivalries to say what he said.
Yeah.
I don't like that team. He shouldn't like that team. Everybody in Chicago would be like, you know how much it pisses me off as a Red Sox fan to see Aaron Boone and Alex Cora chatted up on the sidelines. I hate that. I don't care that you both used to work for ESPN. I don't give a fuck. I want you to rip his throat out. I want when a brawl happens, you two to be close enough about to be fighting each other. I want you to hate the rivals.
Matt Eberflus was at a goddamn Bucks game with Matt LaFleur like 2 years ago or something like that. And that pissed me off so much.
He even said it best. I don't have, like, Kevin O'Connell, Dan Campbell, they were like, I don't like this team. And he's not supposed to. There are rivals out there that you're just not supposed to enjoy or be close to. And that's one of them. So hats off to Ben Johnson. I think he's an absolute nerd. I do. I think he's a smart, but he's nerdy because let me take off my shirt and act like a fucking weirdo. Fine. Hey, the Packers. That's your job. Do your job. That's all I gotta say. Do your job. Jacksonville versus the Bills.
Good game.
Man, let me tell you. When you know the clock's about to strike midnight and you know that carriage is about to turn back into a pumpkin and you're about to be a cleaning lady again, Trevor Lawrence is going to show up. That man is going to show up, and he showed up in grace. Oh, let me tell you, I've had to sit back quietly all year long because he actually looked pretty good past week 8. I was like, Liam Cohen fixed him. Okay. No, I didn't. Because it's still there. You see those 2 interceptions? Horrible. One, the one at the end of the game, his receiver had his hand on him. You don't throw that ball in that position. Why would you throw? Why are you throwing it there? Terrible, man. And that other pick, horrible.
The Jags had nearly twice as many rushing yards as the Bills did in that game. Why are you not running the ball on first down?
I also think Sean McDermott could have gotten his literal lost the game themselves. When they were down in the game and their whole offensive line picked up Josh Allen and carried him 10 yards and dropped him. For them to score instantly and give them a minute on the clock, I thought was the dumbest decision possible. I was like, you have Josh Allen. You're guaranteed to go into the end zone at this point. You need to down the ball and run that clock as far down as possible because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You do not give the opponent a minute in time left. Like, I understand you. And the only thing that worries me about the Bills right now is how many more people can they lose? Like, their offensive defense is shredded at this point. They have nobody, basically. Like, if I'm Denver, I'm looking very excited for this game on Sunday. I think there's a good chance. Now, again, I'm a big fan of the when it's going to be late. I think flags are going to go certain people's ways because they want Josh Allen on the other side. I've seen this game enough times. They don't have a marketability on the other side. I mean, you can sell me Drake May versus thing, but if you can sell me Drake May versus Josh Allen, you get way more must see TV. So, but I think Trevor Lawrence looked like an asshole at the end of the game. I think that's, of course, how it's going to work. Josh Allen's body was like coming apart. I loved the wear and tear from college football of him on the sidelines, like his leg, his arm, his hand, blah blah. Guys, I need a petition now. I need Tony Romo out of the booth.
Oh,
I need him out of the booth in the worst way possible.
He's so bad.
Well, you see his hand, blah blah. He is horrible, and I'm telling you, I don't like Brady that much either.
he's bad
I
too.
love Brady in the booth. I love.
But Brady. Oh, I wonder why you like Brady.
Brady is such a nerd in that booth. He gets
God. You just know he's getting
every long pass.
You know what? I agree with. Here's one thing. I agree he's good in the booth. What I don't like is everybody around Brady that has to talk about how great Brady was. We all know Brady has 7 Super Bowls. Everybody gets on their knees and sucks his dick while they're on the call. Like everybody, like, how would you throw this ball in the wind?
Yeah,
we get it. You got a quarterback next to you.
Silly.
Shut up. Like I do not need a mondo of him showing how to angle the ball down is where the wind takes it. Shut up. Well, why are we? And I hate Mark Menchaca more than most people. Like I hate that man. Every time one of these fucking review people come on, my blood starts to boil. Mike Pereira comes on one more goddamn time and tells me something I already know. You know what? Tell me what a catch is. I need to know what a catch is because we're in 2026 and I still don't know what a catch is. There's a football move. There's not a football move. There's a hand under there. The ball didn't move. The ball moved. Tell me what a catch is. Everything that looks like a catch isn't a catch. Wild. But yes, Bills advance. Bills go on. Jaguars, they finally break the curse or whatever, beat Jacksonville, and Jacksonville, apparently that's never, whatever. Didn't matter. Everybody's thoughts on the game.
I think what the games have taught, I'll do a full retrospect because this game's kind of the quintessential example of it. I think the games this weekend taught me 3 types of teams win in the playoffs. First team is this team, which is the team that has the super elite quarterback, like top 3. Like if you don't have a top 3 guy, you're not going to win. If you are a certain team. If you don't have a top 3 guy, much like Scully's team, for instance, then you need playmakers or an offensive scheme that can be used to get people open all the time. That's the Bears. That should have been the Jags, but it wasn't the Jags because 1 overlapped 2 in this case. That's, the Rams. Though you could say Stafford's kind of like a top 3 quarterback right now. So those sorts of things. And if you don't have those 2 things, you could be like the Texans or you could be like the Patriots. And you could have like a dominating defense. And I mean like dominating where people can't get yards like on any down or can't convert 10%. Yeah, can't convert 10% of your fucking third downs. Those are the 3 types of teams that win in the playoffs, apparently. So this was a case of 1 trumping over 2. Were Nazario and I the only ones who picked the Bills? I think so.
I picked 2.
Oh, you picked the Bills, Scully? Sorry. Yeah. I just think they're on I don't give a shit. If Josh Allen's playing and he's Voltron and they stitch him and they Frankenstein his butt together and he's out there, I feel like the Bills are going to win. I don't care who they're like. I know it's Denver and they're playing in Denver and, the altitude and all that bull crap. But like, it's Josh Allen versus Bo Nix. That's what it boils down to me. I'm going to take Josh Allen, no matter how many retroactive posts people find of Haley Steinfeld rooting for the Broncos, which I thought was really funny. You could just throw that in his face.
I think the biggest thing with this game was the turnover margin because Bills have had an issue with turning the ball over, whether that be Josh being careless with the football, whether that be the defense not being able to take the ball away from opposing offenses. Trevor Lawrence gave them that ball that first time, directly set them up for their first points of the game. Next drive, they go down the field, fourth down. Trevor's knee goes down a yard shy of the first down. Bills drive down and score. That's a 24-point swing right there. That side of the game right there, that allowed Buffalo to stay in the game. You take that and the Cam Little missed field goal before halftime. All of a sudden, Buffalo's in the driver's seat and the Jags have to play catch up, which, you have a good scheme. You have a good offensive coach, decent quarterback. You can do that. But at the end of the day, the turnover margin still matters. Who's going to make the mistake, Josh Allen or Trevor Lawrence? Odds makers, I think, favor Trevor Lawrence in that scenario. So I think that's ultimately what it came down to was mistakes with the football. You got to have experience in the playoffs, I think, in order to be able to win in those moments, and not just experience in those situations, but experience not making mistakes, being clutch like my team. 6 times coming back in the regular season. This was the 7th.
This is what we're doing.
Jacksonville hasn't had to do that a ton because
This
they've
is
been
what
so
we're
down
doing.
on offense in the back half of the season.
We're not going to do this, Scully.
I'm
We're not putting makeup on a pig and acting like your team is
my God.
the gold standard.
What I'm saying is, in the moment, Josh Allen delivers, Trevor Lawrence doesn't. Turnovers matter. That's it.
I wish that were always the case.
You could say that without saying, well, my team. You scumbag.
I've never gotten the ability to say that before, so I feel like I deserve a little grace there.
No. Act like you've been there before. You've seen the NFC Championship game before it doinked. You saw it, so you were fine. Cody Park, you can't kick a fucking field goal. Still my all-time favorite clip of all time. Just wanted to recap our text conversation at 9.
Not 10 minutes after that game ended.
Huh?
His address was on Twitter not 10 minutes after that game ended.
Yeah. 9:37 at thing. Bregman to the Cubs. Scully, worst night of my fucking life. I'm not going to play in this. Jeff Passan at 9:42. Maybe Alex Bregman can get in the red zone, get a red zone touchdown. And you said, I'm going to kill him for this. I said, what a dickhead. And then I said, wow, I'm glad we traded Devers for nothing. I'm not talking, not the time to ask me this. And then all of a sudden at 10:46, almost a complete hour later, I'm like, now can I have my Red Sox friend back tomorrow? Let me enjoy this. So literally an hour flipped and you were able to win. But scumbag. Okay. I wish Barr was here.
Yeah.
I wish Barr was here.
Not really, because then we would get like 10 minutes of him moaning about Batulo, and as fun as that is, it gets old after a while.
Yeah.
Much like the Eagles,
so
stale.
Yeah, that game sucked. It didn't suck. Like, I guess the last 3 games kind of were at the end. It was good. Like, there were moments, but like, it was just basically who was more inept at one point. Like, they just couldn't get anything going at either point. There were stupid drops. McCaffrey catching that touchdown was just magical from Jays.
Brady getting excited at moments like that is why he's one of my favorite commentators right now, because that's a genuine excitement right there.
Yeah, I think it was absolutely. It's an okay game. It was classic Eagles. We all thought, like, me and Robert were kind of in the same page that, like, what if they were saving it for the playoffs? Nope, they're just that inept. Like, they're just that bad. and couldn't figure out anything as an offense. Like, to have that much talent and just not be able to do anything. And I just love that AJ Brown had called for the ball all year long and had that drop. It just was magical. Like, at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, of course, you're an effing idiot. Like, and like Lane Johnson, I honestly think that's another big problem. Like, their offensive line wasn't as strong. And then now there's reports back that Petulia, like, they have to keep it simple for Jalen because he can't deal with like concept. Like,
that doesn't make it makes no sense because Kellen Moore was drawing up all of these wacky and crazy schemes last year, and then Steichen the 3 years before that.
Like that's why I'm like,
that never made any sense to me.
Yeah, it's just like now everything is like now we're calling all this stuff and like it's just like the call is coming from inside the house. Like they're making it seem like Petula's trying to get another job somewhere, but not showing how inept the dude was. It was weird.
It's just the fact of the matter is it's so simple. The O-line's banged up. Saquon had half as many yards as he did last year, so they can't establish the run, which means they go to their passing plays way too early. And Petulo is not he is not a good scheme guy. He does not know how to draw up plays. That's not his strength. That's why he was the pass game coordinator and not like an analyst or a quality control guy. He was it's so maddening because the answer is so simple, yet the Eagles are trying so hard to keep him in-house because they don't want him going somewhere else where he tells everybody how toxic that locker room is. They don't want that to happen, so they have to keep him there. They have to keep him happy, and they have to feed everyone a little bit of medicine so they can move on. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Saquon had the second most rush yards of the weekend, weirdly enough, but still wasn't enough.
Who's tackling him at this point? Nobody on that defense is going to is tackling.
That's
Which
why.
means
that's why
they
Cody
should
and I
have.
thought, yeah, that's why we thought what we
Like,
thought.
It's so weird that they don't have linebackers, and now there's this whole thing going out about how close their practice facility is next to like
There's
this
that's electrical power
the
station.
Electromagnetic.
That's weakening their
ligaments
and shit, which is
like,
But then that doesn't add up because one of the most injured human beings that ever has been is Christian McCaffrey, and he's healthy. Like I don't know what that is, but it's weird. And if that's the case, move the fucking thing. Like, why are we not moving? Like, that's weird. I don't know. But yeah, got a lot of questions. That anything left on this game?
No, there was a question on my local radio station of if that was the greatest non-QB throw in the playoffs, the Jennings throw, because people were comparing it to Antoine Randall in Super Bowl 40 for the local station. They were like, well, Super Bowl on the run, he threw it farther, but they were like, but Jennings was getting
better.
But Jennings was getting hit, and they almost threw it as far, and he wasn't quarterback
he was
college.
A 4-star college quarterback recruits, so it's kind of cheating.
Jennings was?
Yeah, he was a 4-star to Tennessee, and then they converted him.
Wasn't Randall
was the quarterback in Indiana. Like, he was a quarterback. Like, that's how he made his bones.
If I had to rank them, well, Jennings has done it twice now. But if I had to rank the ones in my head, Randall
has as many touchdowns as Justin Herbert,
which we will discuss next. Him, Randall has 1, Julian Edelman 2, Jennings touchdown 3. That 3, especially with Bill not wanting him to throw the ball, is hilarious.
The Seahawks punter throwing to the offensive lineman in that NFC Championship, that was like all off balance and wiggly, and he had to jump to get it. That was awesome too.
Yeah. Now Patriots smother Justin Herbert. I've never felt bad for a quarterback before, but watching him just like cry in the third quarter as he was getting hit
Yeah.
is just horrible to watch. We just have to do something as a society. Herbert's not a top 10 quarterback in the National Football. He just isn't. Like, and it's not just this game. This is like, you can call the offensive line. This is, I don't know how many more shots we have to give the guy. He struggles. Like, he just has struggled with his years in the big moments. It just has been this ongoing issue with him. I think he has all the talent. I think he could very well flip it, but he can't be up in those conversations anymore at this point in time. It was horrible. It was
Didn't
horrible.
the Patriots give them 2 like red zone turnovers
Yeah.
or like,
He
got,
He
like,
just
3 points on it?
had 31 dropbacks that night.
Yeah.
He was pressured 30 times.
I know.
But
it's not just my thing is I'll give him a pass on this game, but this look at his playoff success.
Great.
Like, his playoff success is
Last
horrible.
2 were really bad.
Like, this is his collapse against Houston was horrible.
Well,
the
the
one
Houston
against
game was a
Jackson.
beatdown. It was the Jacksonville one.
The Jacksonville collapse was
that was-
terrible.
I will defend.
Oh
that.
yeah, where he just
That
where
was
but
Brandon
in the
Staley.
Houston game it was close, and then all of a sudden it got completely out of hand, right?
Yeah, and then but
Yeah.
then Brandon Staley lost them that Jacksonville game. Like, I'm not even going to fault Herbert for that one because he played phenomenal until they started punching everywhere in that fourth quarter. Yeah, he's not a top 10 guy. I think with the ascension of the 2024 class and how they've been the last 2 years, I keep wanting to deflect all this blame off him because he does so many amazing things with the football. He plays a tremendous football like 80% of the time. And then there's that 20% where he looks like amateur slop. And it's
We're not
usually
doing this.
because he's getting pressured on 90% of his dropbacks.
He's
We're not
PFF
doing
Nerd's wet dream quarterback is what
We're not doing this. You're not going to give 20%. That's way too low of a thing. He doesn't do amazing things for 80% of the time. He may do amazing stuff for 60% of the time, but the other 40 is asshole. And like, yes, this year he had a horrible offensive line. That's fine. We can say it all that stuff. But like, there are moments this season that he has really good games and then he has complete ass games. Again, if you want to give a pass on this one, fine. But he's been in the playoffs how many times?
3. Right?
And he has as many passing touchdowns as the receiver for the fucking 49ers. That's crazy. That's criminal. I don't care. You can't luck into 2. You can't luck into 3 touchdowns in 3 games. Like, even if this stat line, we eliminate this stat line altogether and say Herbert had no offensive line. He had 4 garbage men blocking for him, and they held for the first half, and they died in the second half. Fine. Nothing explains Jacksonville or the Houston, where he completely just falls apart. His reads in the Houston game last year were laughable.
Yeah,
There's that one pick on the sideline that was absolute I think our chat blew up. Like, why did he throw it there? My problem is, like, here's my caveat. He can be a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. There is no doubt about that. He has the talent level. But currently right now, if he is ranked inside the top 10 or top 12 next year, we need to reevaluate the list because he can't be there. He just can't. I don't care what you do against Oakland. I don't care what you do against, like, even the Chiefs this year. I care about what you do against good teams, and he doesn't perform well against good teams. He just hasn't in a long time. That might be the Pac-12 in him still existing. I don't know. But something's got to give.
It's the Oregon in him. Oregon never wins.
It's the Oregon.
Yeah.
It's the Oregon part.
Yeah. Well, believe me, no one ever. Marcus Mariota coming out for the draft. I thought nobody better. I thought he was destined.
Dennis Dixon. I thought he was going to be
career backup. Hi, Coho.
Hi.
Thoughts on any of the playoff games? We're finally on the last one to this one. Any thoughts on any of the games that happened this weekend besides the funeral that happened on Monday? We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay. A lot of these games were really fun to watch. Love the Packers-Bears game. Great game. Until
You're disgusting.
Okay game, and then the fourth quarter was just beautiful to watch. But
No, actually, I can't give you that. I will give you that.
but
Because I watched Toronto and Yankees and rooted so hard for Toronto, it wasn't even funny. So you know what? I'll give it to you. I would root for the Bears too.
I truly, the Bears are the lesser of those two evils by like 1,000 degrees for me. So I'm fine with the Bears coming out and winning, and watching Caleb Williams do the cheese grater was hysterical. But he's an absolute. He's gonna be that's gonna be a meme for the rest of his life. I'm still happy to watch that moment.
Hopefully in the positive.
Hopefully in the positive. I thought the
that shit
Jags Bills game
black and white.
was-
That shit's fucking cinema right there.
I thought the Jags Bills
You're
game
a pervert.
was intense. And that just came down to Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence failed Jacksonville.
Thank you.
And Josh Allen carried Buffalo. I think
Dude.
Josh Allen is a superhero, and Trevor Lawrence is a good at best quarterback. Not perform when it matters.
Let me tell you, having that stock in Justin Herbert sucks is a lot like Bitcoin after like COVID hit a little bit. There's a lot of ups and downs, but let me tell you, that bitch went down and now it's way back up.
But
We're good.
the one game that happened was the one you guys were already talking about, where I was just bored the entire time. I was watching the Chargers just belt to ass by the Patriots. The Patriots played the worst game they've played in weeks, and it was still belt to ass on the Chargers for 4 quarters.
Two people on this call know he's a liar right now, right?
Here's the thing: the Patriots have been playing. They play the same game. It's just that game gets you 37 points against a shitty team. It only gets you 19 against a good one.
I mean,
Hey.
Drake May fumbled, did he not?
Pause.
That's
Pause. You know why co-hosts having hard? Don't lie. I'm surprised you brought up that game of all time. You were on the free for all, the last one standing the entire time of that game. I was watching it live backstage.
I had my phone set up on silent in the corner.
Okay, no one believes you.
But
You had your phone out during trivia.
I was hosting, bitch.
That's fair.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Peter, cancel him now, everybody.
Shut up.
You have the news.
Walter White, you got me.
You know what? He turned out to be God.
Overall, good weekend of games. I said it last week that the line for the Rams Panthers was a lot of points, and it's true. I knew the Rams still win, but it's the 4 seed NFC South team overperforms even if they lose. They always play better than you think. So I knew it was going to be closer than the line said, but otherwise, it was a good weekend of football.
Ranger Suarez has a 6-year
sucked to watch, but that was for a totally different reason. I hated both teams and wanted them to lose.
Ranger Suarez has a 6-year mutual option also in the deal, apparently. Just to let you know. Never picked up, but it's nice to know it's there. All right, last game, funeral. The Hungry Dogs. I couldn't call off my dogs. They destroyed Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Steelers couldn't really run much. They were a really good game it wasn't a really good game, but it was really close all the way up to it. And then literally it was like it flipped on a dime really quick. I think the best point is
I'll tell you when I think the game flipped and when it became a piece of shit for me. But
go ahead.
You can it was DK Metcalf dropping that pass. When they were,
and whose fault was that?
DK Metcalf's.
I think somebody in our chat said if they could stop throwing the ball to DK, and then the very next play he dropped the ball.
I said I wanted somebody else to catch besides DK. And it turns out
he listened to you. He listened to you. Threw it on the ground.
He punched it with both hands.
Like as soon as that happened, because they were actually moving the ball decently, as decent as you could expect against this Houston team, and then all of a sudden it was like everything stopped working correctly, or Houston was just like, no, not anymore. We're not doing this anymore.
Him dropping that reminded me of that clip of Brendan Fraser at the Golden Globes where he's like laughing and then he does just this or something.
Yeah, where he goes for the clap and he just totally misses his own hands.
That's what it reminded me of.
But yeah, I mean, it was a game of streaks. There was the Monday night streak, there was the Houston streak, there was the Pittsburgh playoff streak. All these streaks were coming together. But we have more streaks now. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Steelers now have the record for most consecutive double-digit playoff losses. That's cool.
Surprised that's not
You know,
one of my records.
Mike Tomlin ties Marvin Lewis for the most
You got to
consecutive
make the playoffs
losses.
out of that record.
You know what,
Mike
you're right.
Tomlin with his 400 playoff win percentage, doing great. Winning playoffs in 21% of his seasons. That's cool. It was just I got sucked in. I shouldn't have got sucked in. It was so dumb. I'm such a.
I think you
dumbass
even
not to
said
make
some.
it.
I think you said some disparaging thing about the running back for them, didn't you? He's like, I'm not worried about him.
I wasn't because he was averaging 3.6 yards a carry, and he averaged 6 yards.
Then he
When
no
that
one's
drive
worried
happened,
about getting marks because he usually leaves with an injury every second quarter.
that also is true. Like
Then
I think
they-
he's left
then they
80% of his games.
They DDT'd Nico Collins live on TV for the entire.
No, he did it himself. He did it himself.
You robbed his
He
head.
couldn't stand the CJ Stroud game anymore. He did it himself to get out of there, and it didn't matter because Christian Kirk was
CJ Stroud joined another quarterback. A quarterback fumbled 5 times and won the game. The only other quarterback to do that is Eli Manning in 2007. Let's go, buddy.
Might have a similar trajectory for the Texans.
It was crazy to watch him fumble that football. I was like, they're trying. They literally.
CJ Stroud being the Eli Manning of this new generation honestly makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Been into the playoffs a lot, always wins the first playoff game, usually exits around the divisional round, but you just know the defense is good enough where they can go on a championship run or two.
I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to be really interesting to see with like that defense reminds me a lot of the 2000 Ravens. I'm not saying same quality. I'm saying don't need a lot of offense when you got dogs that are ready to just pounce on everybody. Like the fact that
better than Trent Dilfer. I'm confident in saying that.
The fact that we had a Super Bowl of Trent Dilfer versus Kerry Collins is still mind-blowing to me. Mike Tomlin steps down. Now heading towards possible retirement, which don't blame him.
Mike Collins going to be real fun to watch on TV, let me tell you.
Is he though?
Literally,
the standard is the standard.
They should give him Romo's job. Put him in the booth with Jim Nantz.
Oh, yes.
That would be so fun, though.
No, he'll get fired. He'll get fired. He'll say something really
make
bad.
it a full season.
He'll make it something real bad.
J.J. Watt can keep his temper. I think Tomlin can.
Yeah, but J.J. Watt's not in the booth.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
he's like on the desk on the CB.
No, he's called like 8 Steelers games this year.
With Iron Eagle.
Never.
Got you, bitch.
Morning show.
I was like, when you said that, I was like,
my bad.
Nope. Every time he shows up on the CBS, every time you see him on the CBS, they go to him,
and they
like during the halftime. But he is not on. He is not
10 inches taller and 200 pounds larger than anybody else on that desk.
Yeah, he would kill. They could not. They put
parity with him and Iron Eagle.
They couldn't put him next to. Give him, please. I'm telling you right now. I understand. Like both Eagles are better than most people out there. Right? Like I would love them to start calling more games, like primetime. Please put them in the thing. Yeah, but Tomlin's gone. Tomlin retires. Last thing we'll go until we get into the new playoff games. Instead of shorter show, but apparently there was a lot to talk about. Harbaugh is going to the Giants for $100 million for 5 years.
Tomlin was getting paid more, by the way, before he left. I don't know.
That makes sense. You just every time you agree or negotiate. The funny thing is he made $100 million and he's making 17 per year from the Ravens.
the way to
So
do
the
it.
man is like making like $150 million to coach football is kind of crazy to me right now. Honestly, like all thing, I still think the Giants is crazy not to hire him. I think that's a smart move. I would hire. I think if that team with those young players, you need a culture builder. You just need somebody. There's been so much stink in that locker room for so long. You need somebody to come in and clean it up. I think he's the perfect guy for it. The issue on the table is they still have the same GM, and I think he's an absolute blumbering idiot. And I don't know how he still has a job. I just think I just can't. The memes just will not stop. John Harbaugh walking up to the batting cages from Happy Gilmore and seeing Scattaboo in there taking balls off the head, and like, what's your favorite drill? And him just running into the punching bag with his head first to get the score. Like the Scattaboo memes are just killing me every time. Like, what's your favorite breakfast? Rocks. Like just so he is.
Scatabo introducing Harbaugh to Dark.
Yeah, he's like the guy from Goonies. Like, hey, you got. He just lost it. I love it.
He's
like,
just urged the cowardly dog, pointing and talking.
He's just crazy. Like the concussion bros are just like in there, but like, what up, man? Like, just like Harbaugh walks in, he's think he's in the movie of Biodome. Like he doesn't realize what's actually happening. But I think that's a perfect move. Anybody on that hiring for John Harbaugh? Smart move, bad move? What?
I feel like this is John Fox to Chicago all over again. I think it is.
That's a really good point.
I've seen this story before. I see a newer GM who likes throwing money around. He made a couple decent draft picks, but his investments haven't really worked out. He fires the offensive guy who is blowing games left and right. He brings in the grizzled veteran who won a Super Bowl and made the playoffs multiple times with his old team. He's been in the big moments, but he just hasn't been able to deliver in the last few years. It's John Fox all over again, I think. I want to think that the Giants can turn it around. And I think Todd Monken's a pretty good OC for what Dart and Scatabo bring to the table. I'm just not convinced that while Joe Shane is the GM and still making the decisions, that there's going to be any sizable change in that locker room. And I think we're going to look at this in 3 years, and Harbaugh is either going to be gone, or this team magically is in the playoffs, and it looks a little bit like Andy Reid in Kansas City. But those are the two extremes, and I think it trends more towards the John Fox side.
Yeah, I think it's the right move from a culture standpoint. They kind of need to stabilize. But given what you just said, Cody, when I heard the news, I was like, good for them, but the vibes don't match up. Like they don't. I mean, like you said it yourself. Like, can you imagine Dart's like they're not Harbaugh's gonna try to whip their enthusiasm out.
Kyle Tucker to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Are you fucking kidding me? Jeez Louise.
The Blue Jays and Mets are in shambles right now.
They can't keep getting away with it. They can't keep getting away with it.
That means Bo is 100% going back to Toronto.
Unfortunately.
I mean, I'll take that over. It happened again. Again.
I want him to go to Philly. I want Bo to go to Philly.
Me too.
I'm disappointed.
That's hilarious. He does not have to play us. I'm so excited. Yes. Oh,
I'll say from a very selfish standpoint, I am breathing slightly easier with Harbaugh taking the Giants job. Now I need someone to fill the Ravens job, not named Brian Flores, and I know Flores is coming back. So I'll feel better. I just need someone to take the Ravens job. Is the only one that if I'm Flores, I take in a heartbeat.
Here is my wish list I want I want Arthur Smith to take the Lions' offensive coordinator job.
I please let Arthur
I
Smith
want
go play
Flores. I want Flores to go somewhere in the AFC where he can't hurt me anymore.
No, fuck you. He's staying here.
I want
He stays in
LaFleur
Minnesota.
fired. I want LaFleur fired, and I want him to go to like Miami or Arizona, and then Halfley can go to the other one, and then the Packers just bring in. Oh, look, they can promote Halfley and
Mike
have
McCarthy is back. Is the news I would love to
that
hear.
would never happen, but I like
No,
where your
it'd be
head's at.
so funny. Jason Garrett is the new head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Would love to hear that.
Three-way trade between Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, and Los Angeles Angels.
Huh?
Josh Lowe to the Angels, infielder Gavin Lux and right-hander Chris Clark to the Rays, and left-hander Brandon Burke to the Reds. Okay. It's busy. The hot stove is hotting. Also, the owner of the Ravens may be my new favorite human that's ever existed.
Oh, the press conference is hysterical.
Oh, he's like, they saved his job by like a week.
He's like, if he made that kick, would it save your job? Yeah, for about a week. And he's like, yeah, I would have hired. Is Tomlin got a job? He's like, you know what? That'd be fun. That'd be crazy.
I love
only if John takes the Pittsburgh job. Just like.
And then immediately following it up by being like, I don't know, but the chest banging I disqualified him.
Yeah. Loved it. Oh my God. Sorry, baseball's crazy. All right. So first game coming up. Get your Buffalo is going to the Broncos. I think we can just do picks and then you can break down why you picked for what you did instead of like going through game by game. If everybody's okay with that. We've already been going an hour. Right now? Yeah, I think that might be the smart. We're already an hour in, unless you guys want to go game by game. I'm okay with whatever.
I don't care either way.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. We can go game by game.
Okay, let's go game by game, and then we can do point totals at the end. That's fine. If everybody's cool with that. I don't want to take up too much time here. So Buffalo versus the Broncos. So let me look up this real quick. DraftKings, not sponsored. Just the one I use. I use a lot of them. But the one that's courtesy. Broncos are minus 1.5 point favorites, over under 45.5, plus 100 on the money line for the Bills. So you can get plus money if you think the Bills are going to win. My thought process behind this game is I think it's very clear that I think the NFL and some flags could come out late for Josh Allen. Because I think he is the most marketable quarterback in the NFL that's currently still in the system. With that being said, I don't know what the Bills have left. The Bills are dropping like flies. They have nobody else. And I think Shakir is going to be Surtain's going to lock him up. And then you're just trusting tight ends across that middle against that linebacker crew. I don't think they're going to be able to run that off. It just screams Broncos to me. I don't know. Rested, everything, maybe rust. I think the only thing I have fear is if I have to put quarterback versus quarterback, Bo Nix versus Josh Allen, I would lean towards Josh Allen, of course. But Bo Nix scares the shit out of me. So that's my thought process. Who wants to go next?
I'm with you, Cody. No, not with you, Cody. Sorry. I just assume that I don't know how the Broncos the line moved. It was Bills favored at the start. Obviously there's been who was it? Shavers, I think, played the whole half, wasn't a torn ACL, and he's hurt. And did you see that picture of Gabe Davis's swollen ass knee? Ugh, gross. They should have definitely lopped that off. It might be better for it, honestly. Let's be clear. He doesn't need that. I think this will. I can see scenarios like how this plays out similar to the Jacksonville game, and by that I mean do I trust Bo Nix not to throw away the game in some capacity? I mean they have a more experienced, possibly smarter head coach, play caller, but that's kind of what I'm banking on. And yeah, similar to last week, if it gets close, again, not rigged, but we will look the other way in certain aspects and other things. We will put magnifying glasses on hits and things coming towards our marketable quarterback. So I'm picking Buffalo.
Yeah, I think this game is going to come down to how much does Sean Payton trust Bo Nix? Because we all know Sean Payton. His hubris has cost the Saints how many playoff games in the last 10, 15 years? Quite a few. I think that the foundation is in place for the Broncos to be successful. They've got a good quarterback. They've got a good running game. RJ Harvey is definitely. I think RJ Harvey will probably have a 100-yard game against the putrid run defense of the Bills. However, I think Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's always going to be Josh Allen. He's going to make plays against this Broncos secondary because Trevor Lawrence hung 40 on him about 3-4 weeks ago. So there's weaknesses in that secondary, and that was with Patrick Surtain. Surtain was there for that game. I think there's weaknesses that can be exploited, and I think that Sean Payton is going to get it his own way again and leave enough time on the clock for Josh Allen to go down and win this football game. I'm going to take the Bills.
Well, we don't do point totals yet. You can't vote. Jeez. Have some self-respect.
And say point total.
Sean Payton hasn't won a playoff game since he had Drew Brees under center. I'm intrigued to see. I think this is the best team he's had since he had Drew Brees as a quarterback. So I'm interested to see how he does. But I think you guys are right. I think Josh Allen is just a superhero at under center. He's just really good at elevating people who we don't know the names of to performing when they need to. And he makes very pedestrian players make great plays that will be the number one play on their highlight reel for the rest of their life, and we'll never hear from them again. So I think there's a chance that Sean Payton can put out a much better team on the field and still lose because I think Josh Allen's just going to be that much better than Bo Nix the entire game. So I am inclined to believe that the Bills have the sauce to go to the Super Bowl right now because of Josh Allen, but who knows? Maybe the magic runs out before the end. We'll find out what's more important. What's stronger, the curse that is on this Bills franchise from getting back there since the 90s, or how good of a player Josh Allen is. So,
Robert, did you say anything, or are you already go?
Yeah, I started.
Oh, sorry. Kyle Tucker leaving for baseball blew my brain. Next game it is Seattle versus 49ers, correct?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the night game is for Sunday is Rams Bears. So this game. We've already seen this game. We've already seen this game. I hate that it's the night game. I understand because they're both West Coast. It has to be the night game. But it sucks that it's a night game. The defense of the 49ers do not have to do. I do not care if Sam Darnold does not start this game. I want that on the record right now. I do not care. Sure, Drew Lock is there. I think I don't think he'll be trusted to pass the ball very far at all in this game. I think the two-headed monster that they have of Walker and Charbonnet, I think will literally just march their team down the field. They did in the previous games. They didn't score a ton against the 49ers. The 49ers could not move the ball against this defense. They were suffocating the entire time. Trent Williams' back, so it would be less. So instead of rushing 4 the entire night, maybe they rush 5 the entire night. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I just do not see I think the 49ers magic. They should be. I think this is. I know people are going to be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I think Kyle Shanahan should be up there for Coach of the Year this year for what his team had to actually loosely come back from. You don't lose Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Brock Purdy for majority of the season, Trent Williams. Now you lost Greg, and then to be in this position that we're one win away from the NFC Championship game. That's just doesn't factor. I still would give it to Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson did more with less in a harder division, harder league. But he should be up there. I've seen this script in Seattle with rested starter, which I honestly think are the best. I think is the best defense in the National Football League. I don't really think it's that close. I love Houston. I think Houston's really good, but I think Seattle has better points around it, and I think we're just destined for. Scully's gonna hate this. I think we're destined for Rams Seahawks. I just think we are. I just think that's where we're headed. And I think if anybody remembers that Thursday night game, I think it's up there with Rams, Bears, 49ers is one of the best games of the year, even though it had some weird fucking calls. So yeah, I think it's as easy as it says. I think we're overthinking it. They have Seattle -7, and Sam Darnold's questionable with a thing, and they're still like, this bitch ain't moving much at all. I think it was 7.5 this morning, so it's dropped a little bit, but I don't care. And the biggest factor, they don't have Kittle. They don't have even another security blanket. Like
Pearsall decides that he's not okay again. Then
he
that's
got
another
shot.
one down.
Yeah. 4-year deal.
Actually, this is not one to die for his team.
Only 4 years?
Are those the terms? 4?
Are there
It's only
options
4 right now.
after like 3?
There's rumors that he just doesn't like football. He's got like Rendon tendencies. So I've never seen him do interviews and stuff. So I don't know if that's true, but that's what people have been rumored. But 4 years, crazy.
Wow.
Everybody else on this game.
Yeah, I think with Walker and Charbonnet, what they were able to do in that Week 18 game against a healthier Niners defense, they just ran right through them. I mean, they, from the jump, anytime the Seahawks needed a third down conversion.
4 years, $240 million.
I'm fucking done.
That's a lot of money.
Enjoy the lockout.
$60 million a year. $60 million.
Enjoy the lockout, everyone, because it's coming. I think what they were able to do in that Week 18 game, establishing the run, Walker and Charbonnet both getting huge third down conversions early and late in the game. Even if Darnold does play, I don't think they let him throw more than 15 times. I want to say they're going to want to get JSN involved just so that there's the threat of a passing game at that level. But I think Clint Kubiak is going to have to get a little bit more creative in order to be able to sell that. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter that much when you have Walker and Charbonnet just carving a path through that defense. And I really hope that the 49ers use CMC early and often, because that's the only way they're going to be able to establish any sort of offensive pattern in this game. The line's -7, 7.5. I don't care. I think you hammer that. If you're someone like Cody who bets on these games religiously, because I think the Seahawks win by multiple possessions. I'm not sure if this game is even competitive in the second half.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be a repeat 2 weeks ago, but it's kind of hard not to fathom that will be the case. Kittle's gone, but you got bunches of Tunches. Like, he could do stuff, as I've been told multiple times. I think, honestly, if the Eagles just weren't such a dumpster fire, I just think the Eagles should have won that game. I think it's absurd still that didn't happen. Give Kyle Shanahan all the props. Yeah, Cody, definitely.
I would have. You know how much I would have loved to see Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni walk into my house in the freezing fucking cold. I mean, that's Christmas Day, 365 days a year.
I love that. I love your confidence with that.
That's going on my fucking Christmas. That would be going on my Christmas tree.
Wonderful.
I'm in a tough spot because I don't want either team to win. So I'm going to play slight devil's advocate. It's very slight. Hear me out. Last year, a 6 seed that we thought was a one and done, no shot in the playoffs. Injury prone, tough, a lot of rookie players and a lot of old injured players. Walked in and played a 3 seed that on paper should have been much better. Played them close and won. And then that 6 seed went into the number 1 seed's house. Overwhelming Super Bowl favorite. All around great defense. Banged up a little bit. Some key injuries. And walked in, played a high-scoring game to the end, and were able to walk out of there with the win. The Niners are, I don't think, necessarily the Commanders of last year, but I think that the Niners have a better coach than Seattle. At least it's close. I think Brock Purdy's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. And I think you kind of have a 1-2 punch right now of if this is the 6 seed goes in, plays the 1 seed like last year and wins. You also happen to have the quarterback under center for the 1 seed who has yet to win a playoff game in his career and fumbled really bad with a team that had a lot of similar assets for him last year who were overwhelming favorites in their first playoff game. So I'm not saying that Seattle will lose. I'm just saying there's a reason the line's low. Divisional opponents play each other tough every time. Weird things happen when you see each other twice a year. The first time they played, the Niners won. The second time they played, the Seahawks won. So I'm just saying it's not like the Niners can't win this game. I know they're very different teams than the first time they played this year. But weird things happen when divisional rivals play each other. And I think the team with the better coach and the better quarterback is prone to win usually, and that would be the Niners going in.
I would agree with that sentiment if Dan Campbell was known for calling tough defense, but he's not. He's a tight ends coach who can draw up and call plays. He was barely an offensive scheme guy. Mike McDonald is a defensive sicko. The man eats, breathes, and sleeps cover 3. He is very different than the likes of a Dan Campbell or a John Harbaugh, one-seeded coaches who have been prone to these sort of mistakes during a week off, so to speak.
And you used that trick play last week. You can't use another. Like, you're not going to get away with that
If he tries
shit
that
against
play
the
again,
defense.
Nicky Manwari is coming out of the backfield like a missile and killing Jawan Jennings.
Yeah.
Driving him into the
How
ground.
Carter roughed him, the ball wouldn't even be out of his hand before he gets his face down.
On paper, yes, the Seahawks should just kill a 49ers team that has literally negative linebackers playing on Saturday. But I'm just saying weird things happen when people who play twice a year have to play a third time. And in high stakes and maybe an injured quarterback on the 1 seed side, who knows? Who knows?
It includes an opt-out after the second and third season.
And Darnold
Who
is
the
not a good
fuck-
playoff quarterback.
Who the fuck's opting out of $60 million?
Opting out of that
Unless
shit.
you don't want it to run until 2028, like 20 or 2080. Like that. I just love God, can you Shohei's plane was going to Toronto. Fucking Kyle Tucker was going back. Now, if I was Boba Shett, I ain't going back to that fucking team. Fuck you. Like that was the second option. Crazy. Everybody else talk about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Houston Texans go into New England to play on the Patriots. Listen. The Hungry Dogs, they run pretty fast. There's an issue. That defense is real fucking good. CJ Stroud ain't that fucking good. And that offensive line is real fucking bad. So let me tell you something on the paper. Right. You had some old guys and listen.
No, they were healthy finally.
Long replace. You had some shit, okay? I'm really fucking nervous for CJ Stroud. I'm really nervous. He was shitting his pants across the line from just TJ Watt. That defense is about to eat. I don't know. I think this game is going to be low scoring. I don't think there's going to be a ton of like action packed stuff. The two-headed monster of the running game, I think, can get the ball and set up actions. Nico Collins not being able to play, I think, is a massive drop. I mean, holy fuck! Turn back the clock. Christian Kirk is just like what the Jag. What did you say, Scully? What the Jags were hoping. No, I said Christian. I'm not.
He's not Stephen A.
Stephen A. Smith.
I'm not Stephen A. Smith.
Charlie Kirk.
Wrong channel. You're looking for four. You're looking for 7 initials that way. 7 letters, I should say. Listen, crazy, absolutely crazy. I think the Patriots win. I think if the Broncos don't win, I think we are setting up Bills versus Patriots, and that's what we're getting. And it's the third time. It's the rubber match. It will sell everything you need to sell. I think Broncos versus Patriots don't have the same ring, so that's my pick. Yeah, everybody else.
I was so confident watching that fourth quarter. I thought to myself, man, no, like first half I was like, Patriots get to dog walk their way to the AFC Championship game. And then I saw Houston's defense and I'm like, maybe not so fast. And then CJ Stroud banged his head into the turf. Not CJ Stroud, Nico Collins banged his head into the turf. And I said,
CJ Stroud did it metaphorically.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be the nastiest 12-9, 13-10, 16-12 game you've ever seen in your life. There's going to be one touchdown in this game, and it's going to be Drake May thrown into some offensive lineman who lines up as a tight end on like 3rd and goal from the 1. That's what that one touchdown is going to be, and it's going to be disgusting. It's going to be the tuck rule game all over again.
It's going to be Seattle versus the Colts, where it's 18-16 and all the kicks came from Mayer's leg. Like they didn't do anything else. Like that's what this game is going to turn out to be.
It's going to be gross. It's going to be disgusting. I'll take the Patriots. I mean, Bills Patriots AFC Championship game.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts that we're set up for two championship games that are divisional matchups. I don't think it happens that often. Yeah, I mean, Scully's describing the game that people thought the Monday night game was going to be, but
it was for about 47 minutes.
Sort of. There was also a 14-play drive in there.
Oh, is there peanut butter on the back of your head or something? Why is your dog going to town on that thing?
Yeah.
Dipper is a very licky dog. I couldn't tell you why. Massive dog.
Let us know if you cam off. That is, please, Jesus.
Mary and Joseph, there are children watching. My God, this is mature audience only.
Yeah, it'll be either.
This is what my dad warned me about after when the channels turned 11 o'clock. Disgusting. Robert, did you talk about this game?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I mean, the Texans hadn't won a road playoff game. It took the Steelers being super inept for them to get that, and CJ Stroud wanted, like, he was the MVP for the Steelers up until the point where it wasn't. So being able to replicate that, I don't think they're going to be able to solve those issues. I don't think Woody Marks and Nick Chubb are going to be able to run to the same degree at which they were Monday night
against that Patriots defense. Yeah, that just makes me laugh.
So then you're going to rely on Higgins and Noel and Hutchinson and Kirk. That's a bad sign. And I mean, the Patriots are no great shakes in the offensive weapon department, but at least they can control the game script with Henderson and Stevenson. So, it's fucking
That's
Patriots.
Stephon Diggs,
Blah.
man. You really don't need anything else.
Ugh.
The Houston Texans have existed for 23 years now and have never won a divisional playoff game. They have always lost in the divisional round every single time. They are currently 7-8 in the playoffs and yet to win a division. They've never been to the conference championship in the whole 23 years. And additional point, here comes the eye rolls. This week was the 10th anniversary of the Minneapolis Miracle. Stephon Diggs is about to play crazy.
It has not been 10
Not
years,
10,
dude.
but the fucking anniversary. My bad.
Years.
That's that. But the Minneapolis Miracle anniversary was this year. Stephon Diggs is about to come out here and play fucking bug nuts. I'm just telling you.
You dumb. You stupid.
I'm bad at math.
You stupid.
7th or 8th, whatever.
You know what?
It's still,
It is the 10th anniversary.
Minneapolis
It's the
Miracle.
9th anniversary. It's the 9th anniversary of the Steelers' last
That's important.
playoff win.
Yeah.
No,
It is.
Yeah,
It is
last
indeed.
divisional playoff win.
Wait,
Yeah.
That was fuck. That's 10. What the fuck? You don't need to.
It leads to a greater point.
We don't need
because
to
I
bring
think-
up anniversaries if they're bad.
I think
That's fine.
that is the greatest Mandela effect of the last 10 years of football, because that game caused the Chiefs to draft Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we really started the dynasty, honestly.
And
But
it's
I'm just saying
signal
things-
to Mike Tomlin that he could just win 9-10 games every year and play like shit in the playoffs and have job security forever.
It was also when Antonio Brown Facebook Lived afterwards and proved how absolutely batshit crazy he was. Then he was never the same. He really wasn't the same after the hit in Cincinnati the year before, but he really wasn't the same after that.
It's Cam
Dude,
Scatterboot.
we're gonna trade with the Mets. We're gonna
What?
trade Jaron Durant to the Mets. We're gonna get Mark Vientos.
Well,
That's
where
who's
is
going to. I didn't know that they were about to pay $50 million for an outfielder. We have all the leverage now. Go trade Jaron Durant and go get Mark Vientos.
There we go.
That's a play. That's what we need. Done deal. Interesting. He fits our vibe. Last game, it's a little game. Doesn't really fucking. Well, we can just skip the next game. It doesn't fucking matter at all. Rams go in to Soldier Field to play the Chicago Bears. Can we stop? We talked about it earlier. Can we stop this narrative that it's going to be so cold on Sunday? It's going to be so cold that Matthew Stafford never played an NFC North game ever. He's so cold. Robert brought up, it was fucking snowing in Philly last year. And they came with and Jalen Carter literally almost killed him, but they only lost by 6.
But did they win?
Oh my god.
You ain't got fucking Jalen Carter, buddy. You don't know. You guys don't know how to sack a quarterback.
But did they win?
No, they didn't.
It's
And you were no Eagles from last year. You were no Eagles from last year. All I'm saying is, the problem is, here's how this game's going to go. It's going to be like 21-3 at halftime. Rams favor.
Uh-oh.
And here comes Caleb Williams, rejuvenated out of the locker room, and he's going to bring them all the way back. It is going to be 21-21. And then Matthew Stafford leads the drive 28-21 in the game. That's how it's going to end. Like, I'm not going to sit here and think that the Bears won't come back from a deficit. They will. The problem is they can't score in the first fucking half. They look horrible in the first fucking half. Sean McVay is going. By the way, how the fuck did you two that played on Saturday get an extra day of rest and the other teams get just shoved in?
Weird.
Who did that? That's bullshit.
We should have swithed places with
Correct.
with
Seattle.
But I think they threw NBC a bone because they got the shit game. So now they're giving Fox the really crappy game because they're getting
That's
the
right.
NFC Championship next week.
All I'm going to say is I think there's just too much. Again, if the Bears win, I'm not surprised. Not surprised by the least. Can't be surprised at this point. They have a golden horseshoe shoved straight up their ass, and they will literally, and during halftime, they just wiggle it. And they're like, oh, time to go. I think there's just too much on the Rams sideline and that defense is not good. Like the Bears defense is really bad. And I don't think the Packers weapons or Jordan Love is that good of a court like situation. I think Matthew Stafford and them are. So I think it could be bad. Running game, everything. I think it just could be a match. I think it's a match that's not looking good for them. They're 3.5-point underdogs at home. That's problematic. I don't like that math because that just screams you to take the Bear. Yeah, that's my pick. I think the Rams take it in a rout. But if the comeback happens, who's surprised? Just like the Dodgers, they can't keep getting away with this.
Don't compare us to the Dodgers. You're better than that.
I mean, you've done it 7 times this year. I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
Anybody else on this game? No
yeah.
one? Good.
No,
Good
I
move
mean,
on.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I just, there's no way Sean McVay will treat this the same way LaFleur treated that game last week. Because Sean McVay is a better coach. Let's be clear on that. And yeah, I sort of agree with your assessment, Cody, at this point. I'm not going to believe that the Rams will bury them because they're unburyable. Everything's like a moving sand pile. Like everything will come, like no matter how deep you put them into the earth will shift like tectonic plates beneath them and let them rise yet again. I don't understand it. It pisses me off. I saw him do it against my own team. It pissed me off then. It pisses me off now. So I just want to stop being pissed off at things. And to do that, I need the Rams to win. So I'm going to pick the Rams.
I think we are probably destined for a Bills-Rams Super Bowl where Josh Allen gets to get to the game and Matt Stafford is back and has the MVP season and will go out on top. I think this is going to be the last ride of Matthew Stafford that gets him into the Hall of Fame. But I think that the divisional round game, Rams-Bears, I think the Bears did a great thing last week, but the way they play is unsustainable. And I think Sean McVay is a coach that will stop that. That will be better than the Bills or the the Bears' entire team. He's smarter than Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson has a lot of ego for a first-year coach. I can see Sean McVay winning that game head-to-head. I think Matt Stafford's the better quarterback. I think Sean McVay's the better coach. If you pick the better coach, the better quarterback, typically you're going to win these playoff predictions. So
I'm so happy.
I'm not on your side.
Magic word. You said the magic word. Unsustainable. It's not sustainable. It wasn't sustainable when they went to Vegas and won on a blocked field goal. It wasn't sustainable when they went to Washington and won on a field goal. It wasn't sustainable against Cincinnati, against New York, against Minnesota, against Green Bay twice. It wasn't sustainable and yet they still do it. I said it in the beginning of the show. This team has changed how I watch football. No one is safe no matter how many points they're up, no matter how bad the team is playing, no matter what the odds are. You can say Ben Johnson has an ego, and he does. But you know what? He's got Caleb Williams to rein him in and make the plays at the end of the game to win. I said it earlier. I think the Rams defense has weaknesses. They do. They have weaknesses.
What did I tell you about hope? What did I tell you about hope?
Scully.
They have weaknesses playing. Let me finish. They have weaknesses playing man-to-man. I think while we're going to be down at halftime, we're going to be down going into the fourth quarter, we're going to score touchdowns. It's gonna be a wild game. But at the end of the day, Caleb Williams is gonna have the ball in the end zone, and the Bears are gonna win 38-34, and they're gonna go to Seattle to play for the NFC Championship. I believe in this team.
I
Wholeheartedly.
believe.
You're picking up first.
That's right,
six,
baby.
seven, right?
Oh, your dog's come back to lick.
In Kevin O'Connell's first year as
You're
head coach of
looked up.
Minnesota. We
Oh,
went
what the
Just
fuck?
wait. It's a point that Scully's going to understand. I'm talking to him in terms he knows. We went 11-0 in one-score games. And all year you went, this is unsustainable. They're going to make it to the playoffs, and they're going to lose. They made it to the playoffs. It was unsustainable, and they lost. I'm just saying, hope is a dangerous thing, like Cody says. I believe really hard in that team. You believe very hard in this team. You cannot keep coming back.
You said
to 28.
Let me.
11-0 in one-score games. How did the Bears lose Week 1 against Minnesota? One possession. How did they lose against Green Bay the first time? One possession. Against the Lions the second time? One possession.
Hold on. Stop.
They've won and they've lost. And guess
In
what?
the year of our Lord,
When it matters most, this team wins. They win. They're gonna win on
the
Sunday.
holiday cheermeister goes to the who needs it the most. Listen, there's an issue that you're not foreseeing. You already played your Super Bowl.
Yep.
Oh wow.
You already
Days out tonight. Oh yeah.
You already won your Super Bowl. You beat the Packers. You used that energy. There's an issue. You can't do that. Like, again, it wouldn't surprise me if you did. I just don't think you're going to get away with it again. And if you have the balls to do it, 38-34, I would love to see it as your 6-pointer today. If not, no balls. Everybody, get your boards ready.
Okay.
We're doing picks. Coho, I'm not giving you any advice, but you need to go for broke this week,
Yeah, I know.
or you're wearing a Packers hat.
I know.
You are currently down, I think, 11 to Nazario. You know what Nazario is going to pick on things, things. You just got to think differently.
Nazario should just pick the Niners for 6 just to give Coho a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I will say
Well, you're
that
picking
is
the Bears for 6, right, Scully?
No, he's a pussy. He's a pussy. Everybody put down your 6-pointer.
How far away is Coho from the top here?
The top?
I cannot catch up to the top. I'm just trying to get second to last. That's all I want.
The fact is, Nazario is 5 points away from me and Barr, 6 points away from Robert, and 7 points away from Scully. He is closer to us than Coho is to him.
Kudos to him for picking the Texans for 6.
He did 20. He went 20. He went 20 and he went 5-1.
Yeah,
He only lost his 1-pointer. He hit everything else for 20 points. Scully got everything for 8. He got 18 points. He only missed 1.
I should have just picked the Bears like I wanted to, but it's fine.
I didn't pick the Bears because if they would have picked the Bears and they would have lost at halftime, if I would have picked them, Scully would have messaged me. This is your fault, and I would have had to.
Why I was trying to be a good friend.
Yeah, I'm not being a good friend this week. Fuck it. Okay. I already have mine written down, so we're going to start with Robert.
Go with the Seabirds.
Okay. Scully.
Yeah, Seahawks.
Okay. Coho?
Whoa. Blank screen. There it is.
Black.
Rams.
Okay. In order. Nazario. Patriots. Me. Seahawks. Mark Bills.
Whoa. Oh.
Remember
Mark's
this
playing
is
with his food.
remember this is 6, 5, 4, 3. So they're not just there's no 1 point. So now what your 5-pointer is?
What did Bar pick?
Oh, Bar picked Rams.
I can't believe Mark picked the Bills. That's crazy. What
Yeah,
a
that
double
is-
laughing
It's
asshole.
close if they win.
Sucks.
Don't
Fucking sucks. I know the two that Nazario is definitely picking, and the problem is I agree with it, so I have to go against what I think is going to happen. It sucks. So stupid.
yeah. Fair. I mean,
I'm telling
Yeah.
you guys right now, if this season
you can
ends,
do one pretty high and switch a little bit of points.
if
but
this
it would
season
only be
ends with
3.
Coho, if this season ends with Coho and a cheesehead and me in a Super Bowl, it's gonna be the greatest day of my life right there. No matter what happens,
The cup will have been filled.
the cup will have been overflowing.
Runneth over.
Are you ready, Joe?
What did he take for his 6?
He took the Patriots
Patriots.
4-6.
Okay.
And he's guaranteed to have at least one team down for his one of the point values.
Honestly, when Coho was talking about the Texans, I was expecting the flip of, but this is what
Yeah,
it will.
I
was expecting something.
if I'm being 100% honest, I don't know why he picked the Rams first.
Because
Yeah.
I think that's the most guaranteed lock of the week to me. But that's just me.
I understand, but you have a guarantee that he is going to have the direct opposite because of who his team is. So you would have at least been able to guarantee some if it happens.
That's fair.
To each his own.
That's fair.
Okay. Your 5-pointer, Robert.
Rams.
Okay. Scully.
We're going with Patriots.
Okay. Coho.
Darnold, don't fail me now. Seahawks.
Okay. Nazario has the Rams for 5 points. I have the Rams for 5 points. Bar has the Seahawks for 5 points. Mark has the Texans
What?
for 5
Wow.
points.
I wish Mark was here. This is such.
I do too. Like, is he throwing?
This is nonsense. What a double lapping asshole. I said it was.
And yes, Nazario, the Dodgers are going to cause it. But we can't look and say the Mets signed Soto for 700. Every team does it. It's just they just do it more often. I mean, Steve Cohen putting out that tweet today that says, "Hey, tell me when there's smoke." Waiting for the Pope to put out his offer that they're offering 50, and Dodgers come in and goes, "We'll give you 60. You want to go here for 60?" Crazy. Rangers for his Roger. Pretty much it sounds like a steal.
I mean, it is a steal.
Oh, okay. Your 4-pointer, right? Yes. Robert.
Ugh, Pats.
Okay. Scully.
Da Bears.
Okay.
At least he didn't put it for 3.
Yeah, wasn't a pussy. All right. Coho.
It can't be 2 divisionals. I know Nazario's the biggest Bills fan here. So I'm going with the Broncos.
I'll do it in reverse order. Mark
If this fucker
has
beats Broncos, going to throw my laptop right now.
Mark has the Seahawks.
Mhm.
Bar has the Patriots. I have the Broncos. Nazario has the Bills.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
And your 3-pointer. So far, Nazario and Coho are
Different on 2.
2. Different on 2.
I was trying to decide if I wanted to be different from Mark, but I'm not going to win, so I'm just going to go with what I think is
I'm
right.
just trying to keep above.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't win. That's fine. Okay. Man, Mookie Betts must hate himself for signing 12 years, $365.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Imagine how Freddie Freeman feels. He's out of a job when that contract expires.
Oh yeah, 162. Crazy. All right, Robert.
Bills.
Okay. Scully.
Now it drops below our line of sight. We're taking you off screen.
This is not the one that was looking in my head. This is Chip.
Chip.
Tipper's the freak.
Scully, what's your?
I'm gonna go Bills.
Okay. Coho.
Patriots.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know if he was going to do the Texans. Okay.
I can't. That's the most surefire to me that the fucking team can't win is the Texans.
All right. Final picks. Nazario, 49ers for 3 points.
Of course.
Me, Patriots. Bar, Bills. Mark, Rams. So those are where they are. They're all sitting. I really am interested on Mark's 11 points that he spent on the Bills and Texans. I think that's crazy. The reason I put the Patriots at the end is because if my hungry dogs are still running, I need to at least have that for my lower tier because I couldn't be surprised. That dog is.
So everyone picked the Rams.
That dog is
Everyone
angry.
picked the Rams.
Out of here.
Yep.
Okay.
Did everyone pick the Rams?
Besides
Except for me.
Scully. Yeah.
Except for Scully. Hope is a dangerous thing.
Same as last week, I think.
Hey, Scully.
And Coho even doubled down and copied Nazario on that one.
Scully. It's the hope that kills you, buddy. The hope that kills you.
You live long enough to be your entire life.
was my comment.
True. That's so true.
Yeah.
All right. That is the episode. Long episode.
It is another.
Shout out the Dodgers.
No, don't do that.
Shout out the Dodgers, absolutely. Because now Alex Bregman, I hope you enjoy playing in the NL and never going back to the World Series because you have to play that team. So that's fun. Have a great one. See you next week for Conference Championship Week. Can't wait. Bye-bye.